So, your little one-on-one session, okay. So the situation is as follows. You are at the first level. Most of your friends are on the stairways to the second level. You hear voices upstairs, which basically leads to an old man voice saying, "Who goes there? You too, check that out." At the same time, you hear, like behind you, coming out of the library, two more, not voices, but sound of more people. When they come around the corner, you see that these are more cultists, and they have their weapons unsheathed. You then go ahead and unsheath your sword, if not already done so. Do a quick prayer to Erroneous, channeling his might,
Mhm.
and tell your friend Horace to help the others upstairs. Then you continue to go into a melee with the two cultists, while your friends do battle upstairs. You hear a cacophony of voices, of battle sounds upstairs, and after a few seconds, you hear Dorn crying out in pain. A few seconds later, you hear Status crying out in pain. At that point, Dawn starts to fall down the stairs. You are still fighting your two opponents, managing to defeat them. At the point where you turn around to see what's happening and help your friends, you see Dawn bleeding out on the stairs at the bottom of the stairs, and you see like spectral dragons swirling in the air and slowly descending down the stairs. You see upstairs, you see a woman you have not seen in 6, 7, or 8 months. You saw her briefly when fighting in Greenest at the
Yep.
beginning of all this. You saw her commanding the forces of the cultists on the raid of Greenest. And you remember her being called Frula Mondath. You see her slowly descending and speaking to Status and saying, "Ah, I will have my prize. Give me your sword." And Status, a little bit confused, asks her, "What will I get in return?" At that point, she just swishes her mace on his side twice and breaking a few bones. You hear them snap as the sinew does not give in and the bones start to lose structure. You hear the old man gasping out as he breaks down. At this point, you're trying to pull your friend Dawn out of this zone of these still swirling dragons. You hear your friend Horace in a making a cry out of desperation, lifting his arm and shooting a bolt of radiant energy at her, which confuses her for a second, um, and she loses concentration, and this zone kind of starts to disappear. However, at that point, you see that Dorn, or at least a spirit that resembles Dorn, kind of gets pulled out of his body. Alongside the spirit, there's something latched onto him, like an insect, a parasite even, and and then they slowly dissipate into nothingness. You see, as Horus just pulled up and released this bolt of radiant energy, hitting Mondrath in the chest and her losing the concentration. You see her ordering the two lackeys with their bloodied swords to kill him. And from upstairs, you hear a mad cackle of an old man, and what sounds like an electric surge through the air. You see the white flickering light upstairs, and you smell um, the smell of ozone as she turns around and moves out of your vision. And this is where we will start.
So she turned around and moved away?
She's just turning around and moving away. after telling her guards to finish you.
Okay. Deal with them, but that one. Yep, even if I deal with them, I'll have trouble getting out of here, so they are not my priority.
Your friends still lying on top of these stairs, kind of beaten and broken, still bleeding out.
Okay, when I looked at her, did she seem hurt, or like was she worse for wear? Was she just shrugging it off?
She was not hurt yet, just by the blast, which
She got blasted by Dorn and by
Mhm.
Oris.
Mhm. Well, she looks hurt, yeah, but she is starting to get out of your way. She definitely looks hurt, yes.
Is it worth it? Probably. Because even if I deal with these two guys, I'm gonna have trouble with whatever's going on up there. And I can't save them all at the same time. Yep, still gonna go with plan A. Icarus sees that those two guys just finished Oris,
Mhm.
and he knows there are way too many foes and probably more on the way here, so he needs to think of a plan best. He thinks that the only way he can do that is if he can manage to find some kind of a deal he can strike here. Except he has no bargaining chips. So first order of business is to get one. And so he quickly turns his steel shining sword, points it at those guys, then aims a little higher, and a beam of light will shoot up towards the top of the stairs.
Mhm.
And as he pulls his sword back, his body just jumps forward up there.
Mhm.
Where is Mondath at this point? And I assume further away.
You basically act as soon as she finished that, starts to turn around and move towards into the room, which you don't see up until this point, right? The two guards kind of start to advance downstairs, basically middle of the stairs. Just finished your friend as he dropped down, and when you Misty step, right? Misty step up there. You kind of get a look inside the study or the office of Rezmir, and what you see is a portal like the forming or being or is formed, already completed. A little looks that looks a little bit like the portal back in Makar's fort.
Oh, great.
However, this thing is unstable. Like the thing at Makar's fort was perfectly like oval, and just these strings of energy at the edge.
Mhm.
This thing is just like electric energy, like surging and fizzling. So this thing has no set state or set form. It's just like lightning shooting from one pillar to another pillar. It's just not in a straight line or what. It's just like zipping around. And you see an old man standing there in gray robes. You see him having a glass staff in hand and a bunch of documents under his arm.
He's planning to escape, huh? That's a way. Huh. This changes things. Do I go with plan A?
And you basically appear beside, or where do you want to appear? Beside
Probably
Mondath,
beside.
or behind her, or
Probably where Status was, so I'd be like 10 or so feet away from her.
okay.
So if they're just going away, maybe I can deal with this to save them and get out. That's also an option. I can still go with the original plan. Yeah, since she's not striking, steadies at the moment.
No, she
Well,
turned around to move away.
yep, if they're moving away, then it's great. I can kick steadies a little bit, so he's not like at the top, so he's a little out of sight, and go down, and we'll face, now that I have the upper ground, the 2 cultists.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, first one. Macros, here it is. So, there was a blast going on. What was the target? Probably the other 3, right?
There was what going on?
The blast going on.
It was you and 2 of your friends.
Oh. That would be...
Like a blast is 1 hour, right?
Yeah, no, it's... when did you cast it?
In the middle of the last fight. That's why I asked.
If it was in the middle of this fight, it works.
No, last fight.
I think it's a minute that it lasts. It's like...
Give me a second. I'll look it up.
If it's a minute, I probably don't have it.
On action... Concentration up to 1 minute. Okay, at that point, I'd say it faded. Sorry.
Okay.
1 minute is... I thought it was 1 hour. My bad.
Okay, then that's just 14 versus AC.
14? Okay, so you appear upstairs as you described that. See, like, the 2 guys, or the girl and the old man, the priestess and the old man, kind of what it looks like to make an escape. You reconsider your decision, turn around to the 2 cultists, and fall them into a bag. However, they at this point, the few seconds you took to basically take a look at your surroundings, they realized what was happening. They turned around, and the one just brings up its scimitar in the last second, deflecting your attack.
Okay. As that one deflects the attack, I'll leave him out of position, which blocks the other one, and as he can't touch, I'll try to stab him.
Alright.
That's probably better.
Yes, that's it.
And let's add something extra. Oh, the rolls are not with me. So 9 total damage.
Okay. Okay, so you bring it. Tell me what happens. He's not dead. So tell me what happens.
I basically try to stab him, and he brings up both of his swords. He tries to deflect, but the blade kind of shines through and like leaves a nick on his swords, but managed to deflect just enough that it just flings on his shoulder instead of going for his heart.
Alright.
His shoulder is singed.
Still, your radiant energy, blessed from Heronius, kind of discharges into his body, leaving him in a weakened state. He's not looking too good, but he is still up. Okay, that's round 1. I will keep that in mind. Okay, then they will act. They kind of turn around, and they are fighting very well together. And one is trying to engage you in fighting. Your blade still lodged with his scimitar. He grabs your hand while the other one circles around and does 2 quick strikes with his scimitar. 18 AC and 23.
23 hits.
Okay. You feel the first blow glance off at the back of your armor, but the second one he uses a little bit more time and pierces basically the space between your helmet and your breastplate and pushes the blade down into your breast, into your chest from the back, dealing 7, 13, 14 points of damage.
Ouch.
The other one then, as you cry out in pain, the other one uses the situation and tries to attack you as well. Hitting you once. Dealing another 5 points of damage.
Oh! Ronis is with me.
Is he? You just took what? How many points? Anyway.
19!
Okay. Pushing his, using your gasp out of pain and doing a quick jab at your arm where you wield your sword. Bringing up to you.
Okay. Icarus on his last leg needs to finish these guys. So
You see, you're still on top of the stairs. That's what you said.
yeah, near. Well, I came down to fight them, so I'm on the
Okay.
top, somewhere there.
Okay, you hear like the electricity starting to fade away a little bit at this point, but you don't see, because especially since you're engaged with these two opponents, you don't see exactly what's happening up there.
Okay. Do I have it? Yeah. I will try to finish the one I heard, and as Icarus brings his blade up, he brings it down with all his might. As a good thing that I mentioned that, because that would be at 25. There goes my inspiration.
Okay.
I really needed it. Do I add anything else on top of this? I have no idea, but it's probably... Yeah, better to be safe. I will do it.
Okay, then tell me how you kill him.
As I bring my sword down, you can parries it, but I notice that he's parrying, and I will bring my shield up, adjust my blade so it matches where his notches were, and bring my shield down like a hammer on iron, and it literally gets through him. And as it does that, Icarus turns around and brings it on the other guy. Oof. And as he does, he needs to finish this right now. And there is the last one in a mighty blow for 16 total.
Okay.
You know what's funny?
Hmm?
You did 19 damage to me. I have 28 points.
Okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't call it funny. I would call it close cut. But okay.
Yeah, it's really close. Oh, okay. And immediately after that, I'll tend to the one of my friends that look the worst and see if I can get them back up, and I'll kind of glass upstairs, see what's going on there. But first, I'll tend to my friends.
I don't know which of your friends look worse at this point. Status is at your feet, and Horus is still a little bit further away. However, you used your action, so you just have a bonus action, right?
Yep. Nothing I can do. But next round.
Okay, so next round. That's 2 rounds now. You hear on top of the stairs you see now on top of the stairs this flickering light from this portal that formed kind of fade away, and then with a zap, then there's silence, and you just hear the battle outside continue.
My original plan was to take Mondath and use her as a prisoner to negotiate, but if they're gonna leave, I'm not gonna mess with them.
Also, at this point, you also realize that the sword is from Cetus is not there anymore.
That's a good thing, honestly.
At least in your book, right?
Yeah, in my book, it's a good thing. He never speaks with anyone, so he mentioned there was something bad about it that he would never mention and probably take to his grave, which it just pinches now, but let's see.
Okay, so 2 of your friends dying at your feet, Dorn still lying there, but you're fairly sure that he is beyond healing. So which one of your friends do you try to heal first?
I'd go to the one who looks the worst, but in this case I'll go to Horace. Because Stadius is an old man, he'll be hard to get out, so I'm going for the guy that has most
the younger one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, medicine.
Before you do this, let me just check, and I can maybe give you a little bit feedback on who of them looks worse. Because I right now don't know. Okay. Okay. So I will just open their death saves. Okay, I will just roll them open. So I will roll 2 rounds since you can do this on the 3rd round, right? Yep. I just say that you are ahead of them just for fairness sake, but And since I don't know if... Okay, so I'll start with 2 times status, 2 times Horus.
Go once. Okay.
And then I will to do it twice to Horus.
Okay. Okay, in that case, status is the worst. I don't know if I would know that, but...
Probably not. You already did your decision. I just
Yeah,
meant
yep.
that I will just...
Yeah, but I'd still go for the same, because I wouldn't know that, but...
Mhm.
And besides, RS can roll one. So, medicine. So this is the point where I used my second inspiration.
You will use it?
The second inspiration.
I don't know if you had. I know. No, I don't think you have to expend. Since
You can't have 2 expirations. There's
I,
only one.
there was a time I gave you like a second one, but I know that you guys were pretty low on inspiration due to like last week or the week before that. Okay, but I think 14 is enough. I think you just need 10, right?
Yep.
So you stabilize Horus.
And look who's just joined. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay, so you manage to stabilize Horus, which takes you around, which gives me another round. Actually, yeah, I will just continue around since Don is not here. Doing the next death save for status.
No! Old man. You literally look. If you had advantage, you would have failed all 3. How bad is that? You literally failed 6 saves in a row. Why don't you roll your real die? It's literally a not a success.
I just rolled a 9, and now a 12, 14. Anyway, okay. So you see like the old man behind you.
Damn. I check his pulse. He's gone. There's nothing I can do for him.
His balls are gone, indeed.
Nothing I can do for Dorn. At least not here. Not that I know.
At this point, you're here still like fighting outside. Upstairs, there's just the flickering light of
Gone now. Pretty much
the
disappearing.
candles that were up there. In the first level, the candles were hushed out as said earlier. So, what's the next step you want to do?
Okay. Grab RS, swing him over my shoulder.
How much can you still carry?
That's a good question. I think it was still a fair amount, but let me check. I'll probably have to leave his stuff behind. I'm not sure how much he weighs total.
Leave the stuff behind.
Again. So my carrying max, I have 117. Okay.
I mean, there's distinction between putting him over the shoulder and basically dragging him, right?
Dragging, I can do it, of course. I still can carry 107 pounds.
107 pounds you can carry.
Not sure how much.
With your armor, do you still have capacity? He weighs more than 107 pounds. That's 50 kilos, right?
Yeah, he probably weighs more than that. Okay. I'll have to drag him in that case. Yep, I'll sheath my sword, drag him out.
You want to drag him down, outside, or you want to drag him up, or do you want to drag him? Where do you want to drag him?
It's gonna have to be out. There's no escape up. The question is, what do? We can try and hide with them. Technically, okay. The only 2 persons that know we betrayed them are now dead. Or dead, and the other 2 escaped, right? As far as we know, leaving no note behind. So we may be able to talk and get our way out. That's a question.
Okay, before you do something, think about what you want to do.
That's a good question. There's basically 2 options that I can see now. One is go out into the swamp with Horus and see if we can regroup, but that's gonna be pretty unlikely. The other is gonna be try and help with the rest of the cultists. Seem like Horus was hurt in the fight with the Polyworks, like the other guys here could have been. And maybe you can still get on their good grace. As far as they know, 2 of my guys died. The other got pretty severely wounded. I'm also severely wounded. But we were all on the same side, just fighting the crazy lizards that suddenly turned on the bullywugs.
How could that have
I mean,
happened?
how did that happen?
Right.
And yeah.
Okay. So still there was like these are two options. Yes. I don't know. You weren't there last session, so the group went to Resmir's office because they were searching
Oh,
for
the
the
password.
password. I just say this again because you weren't there last session, and that's why you actually are where you are right now, right?
I'm not the great at this, but it's probably good that I try and get it. So yeah, I'll do a quick search upstairs. Go upstairs, go up this desk. I probably won't touch anything carelessly. Want to activate
Okay.
any alarms. But
Intruder, intruder.
yeah, that might as well be my death sentence in this case.
Fireball. So what do you want to do with the body of your friend?
I'll put Steadys probably at the bottom of the stairs in a more comfortable position.
Status, okay.
RS.
Bottom of the stairs, so the second level, and the second level is where the library is. The third level is where Rasimir's office is, and the first level, or the ground level, is where the exit would be, right?
I'll leave him in the library, probably next to a bookshelf of some sort.
Okay, so you push him a little bit to the side into the library. That if you take a look, that basically here's the kind of the stairway, and the library is this like little reading room, and this is the library. To the big room is the library.
Mhm.
Okay, so you pull him into the side room or into the library and pull him against the wall. What do you want to do with Dorn and Status?
I'll probably drag Dorn and probably one of the other cultists also somewhere next to him. Not too close, but
okay.
look like they're one of the group, right? So if someone comes, hey, they were all fighting together and probably got killed by someone else.
Okay. And Status?
Status dragging him down the stairs since he's so heavy in his armor will probably take a lot of time, so I'll probably just drag him somewhere next to the other cultists so he looks.
Okay, there's still two cultists lying on the table. You just killed, right?
Yep, as well. The others, I'll drag to the one of the stairs and then I'll go quickly up and check the desk for if there's anything obvious.
Okay, I can just reintroduce you to the room in general, like to give you like a short, like a few information about what it actually is you're dealing with right now, right? So again, the top floor compared to the rest of what you so far saw of the Castle Neatar is very, very lavishly like fitted. Like the furniture is made by artists, not actual carpenters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see there in this room a writing desk, several small tables, everything stacked with inventories, reports. You see 4 beautiful but not very comfortable looking chairs standing in front of these tables. At the top of the stairs, you see 2 big onyx carvings of black dragons that basically mark or flank the end of the top of the stairs and look into the room. And other than that, you see obviously that there's a door and like an opening into another room.
There's no desk here, so
Yeah, there's several desks. There's a writing desk and several tables.
Yeah, but no major desk, right?
Well, the writing table would be like the major desk if you want so, right? But everything's basically like stacked with.
So in that case, the other room may be the bedroom, but that's probably where we would hide these things. Question. I'll give a quick check to the other room.
To the side room or to look through the door? Open the door and look through the door.
Oh, the door is closed. Yep.
Right now the door is
The
closed.
side room at the moment.
The side room. Okay, the side room there's a comfortable furnishing, upholstered chairs, padded benches, two small carpeted draped tables. Looks like an area where you could relax, where you could like get back and read something a little bit more toned down.
So this is more the relaxing. Probably not here. So I check. Probably best before begin touching crazy doors that may be trapped. Let's check the major writing desk.
Also, at the end of this little red room, there's another. I don't know if you see it, but there's another.
Yeah. What's the writing on the writing desk in Draconic or?
It's different. Like lots of them are reports. They're mixed languages. Some are Draconic, you can't read. Some of them are in common, and they speak about movements and targets of the cult, and you see like loads of reports that actually are concerned with what is gathered, like numbers of gold, silver, stuff like that.
Okay, this doesn't seem where the password would be.
Give me an investigation check.
I'm not horrible at this, I'm just bad.
Well, you got better, right? Okay, so while you kind of quickly glance over different kinds of reports, you actually come to a stack of tables on the prime table of papers that are not in common. They are in Draconic. However, you can actually like see a few things that kind of strike you, not because of the writing it is on, but there's some paintings, or not some paintings, it's not a painting, scribblings onto it, like diagrams and runes, like not even writing, but runes. And the reason why, you don't know what this means, but the reason why it caught your attention is you have seen these runes, or most of these runes before. These runes were in the cellar, in the room with the what Dorn thought would be a dormant portal. And you can give me, if you want to like investigate the stack of papers a little bit further, you can give me an intelligence check, an arcana if you want to, if you are proficient in it.
No, it's pretty much an intelligence. Sure, I'll grab those that I can. That maybe question to the portal, and maybe.
And you can give me a good advantage because you saw these runes before and spoke with Dawn about it before. Well, you still don't get really like too much information about it. However, you find that in brackets, in upper brackets, and one of these pages, there is one word which is written in common, which is called Dragir.
Dragir, that's no common word. It's probably written in common. That's strange.
It is in common letters, right?
Yeah, in common letters, but it means nothing in common that I know, right?
Yeah, it's spelled like this, Dragir.
Dragir. Okay, that's going into my notes. Dragir. This may be it. The sound of fighting is probably getting fiercer, and I have limited time here. Dragir. Okay, I'll grab all the notes, put it in my backpack, probably at the bottom, so there's the hardest. I'll also take my holy symbol. Where do I stuff it? I'll put it, as I go back down, in Horus's backpack at the bottom, along with his.
Okay.
Like at the bottom grapple.
Yeah, understuff, basically.
Trying to bite it,
Understuff.
basically. So if they search it, fight it. And then I'll drag this, and probably before I just drag him to the stairs, and then I'll go down, check the situation downstairs.
Okay, when you look outside, you see the courtyard just filled with like dead people, or actually dead bullywugs, a few dead guard drakes, a few dead cultists, and a few obviously also dead lizardmen. Other than that, when you can give me a perception check.
Okay.
Other than that, you don't see anyone standing in the courtyard. When you look like outside and to do a quick peek left and right to see if there's anyone like at the sides where you couldn't just see when you looked outside, you see also no one standing there. However, you see that the tower in the middle of the keep, basically, right, with the observatory on top of it, the main tower. There in every level there's like fire or light emanating out of the windows or arrow slits.
But I don't hear anything from it at the moment.
Outside, you still hear there's a battle going on.
Point, yep.
However, it is starting to slowly calm down. Maybe it's moving away from the keep. Maybe it's just going to be finished at that point. When you perception 15, you also hear like hushed voices and movement, like tipping of feet. Actually, heavy boot feet. So it's not tipping; it's actually steps. Coming out of the tower with the middle tower with the observatory, and you hear upstairs to your not right above you where you came from because there's no one, but on your left, basically above the kitchen and above the main mess hall. You hear that there's voices and steps going on.
Probably guards getting to the walls. I'll drag Horace into a corner and see
at
if
ground
I can...
level, right? At ground level.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll drag him to the ground level. I'll put him in a corner, and I'll probably put my hand on his wound since he's looking pretty bad. And I'll look to the courtyard and see if I can see who those steps belong to.
Okay. So when you take a look into the courtyard, you see that well, you know that in the you actually can see it in the kitchen. There's the stairs which go upstairs, right? You see at the first level there's still walls, and above that there's the floor, not the floor, the ceiling, kind of finishing up. You cannot see anyone because they're probably on the inside of the room, on the first level. As you still sit there and take a look and take a search for any survivors, cultists, bullywugs, lizardmen, whatever, you hear a voice you know is from
Dorn Grey.
Exactly. Drelmore Born Grey, and you hear him shouting away from you, probably into the outside, like it's just like calling back into the tower because he's really loud, and he says, "What's the meaning of this? Stop fighting!"
Excellent. Okay, now I need these guys. They're still...
Right now, there's no one inside the courtyard. You basically the tower opens up into, right? You hear them basically from the left, somewhere here.
Yep, I can leave Horace here. He's be counted among the wounded. No one will stab him. My problem is if they find only cultists dead upstairs, right? They'll think, hey, you killed these guys, right? So I don't care who they think killed the other ones, but I can't have Steadis and Dorn being there. thinking going back up, grabbing Dorn, and bringing that down, putting here, so he's like died here in the middle of all these corpses as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't hear anyone, I'll probably also do that with Steadies.
Okay, when you basically you pull Dawn outside against the wall, lying down there, and you start to move in, get inside again, and when you get down with Status's body, which takes you a considerable more amount of time since he's a lot heavier, you hear that there's movement outside. And, yeah, you hear there's movement outside.
Up to a corner,
Mm-hmm.
turn there, and seem like I'm trying to treat his wounds.
Mm-hmm. And take a peek outside?
Yep.
Okay. So you basically are on the bottom of the stairs with Status, and take a look outside, or right at the corner, basically at this corner here. That's what I mean. Not the bottom of the stairs, but this corner, and take a peek outside, which doesn't give you like a lot you can see, right?
Yep.
It's not like a bit. But it gives you some, and you see like cultists, like in multiple, like starting to moving to the south, like basically passing by the portal.
I'll let them pass for now. See if none of them comes up here.
So you wait for a few seconds, and then the last kind of moves by. You want to wait further a little bit, or you just want to start moving right now?
I'll probably with Steadies here take a closer look. I will wait for a few seconds, and if nothing comes up, I'll grab him and then bring him closer somewhat.
Okay, so you basically try to get towards the edge of the and see if there's any stragglers. Basically, give me a stealth check.
Stealth. Where is stealth? It's here. Sorry.
I don't have stealth.
Hey!
How do you roll a -1?
I have 1 HP, so I crumble up against the wall, and it blinks in my armor. Dude, you gave me the minus penalties to everything! So yeah, amazing.
-1 on the stealth check. So basically, you pull out your guitar. Wait! Stay way too heavy for you. Okay. Okay, so you as you try to, actually, you tell me what happens.
So I'm basically trying to go there, but Icarus has been moving back and forth, and is not in the greatest of shapes. And with carrying all this around, and he's lost quite a bit of blood, his vision just blurs as he kind of nearly faints, and he falls, stumbles to the ground, like hits the wall, and as his hand slips by, it like sends one of the spears nearby like tumbling and makes a lot of noise. It's horrible.
And you crash onto the ground and like lie there. Okay, at this point you hear steps moving up to not from the south but from the north, and these steps are lighter. Their boots or shoes are lighter, and you hear like quick steps like coming towards the corner, and then you basically like you put Dawn at the edge, basically right around the corner, right? So you basically can see his arm protruding, sticking out, exactly, and you see like a red robe kind of bowing down over Dawn's body, and like at this, then you still lie there and like have deep breathings, like being exhausted from the fights and from your wounds, and he kind of sticks around, and obviously this is Azabara Joss. He like looks around and like just starts to grin. Kind of turns around, and you hear him like perusing through Dawn's stuff, and after a few seconds he kind of seems to grab something and then retreat again.
Icarus kind of lifts his arm, trying to stop him, but he just stumbles to the ground. He can barely speak at this point. It's says something about stealing from the dead, but not really great. He kind of falls to the ground, probably passes out for a minute or two before getting back up.
When he gets back up again, you hear outside, there's the fighting has stopped. You hear some faint like voices that carry through the air, but you cannot make out any clear words at this point.
As I get back up, everyone's already down here from us, so I'll just grab Horace, probably pull him into the kitchen, make sure his
Into the
wounds
kitchen.
are.
Okay.
Make sure. I assume there's nothing there, so it's a safe place, except maybe the dwarf. But he
The
probably.
dwarf's still lying there sleeping, man.
Yeah, he's like.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's a super heavy sleeper. No, but he could be like cuddling in a corner with a ladle. Because why
But
not?
he's still asleep, man. He's just like nothing wakes him.
Yeah, I'll just put Horace there, tend to his wounds, and let's see. Do I trust the lizardmen to not speak of us? Probably yes. Because the only ones that knew we came here also know who sent us, and if they sell on us, they'll be kinda screwed. Or at least they probably believe. And
There
it's not
are, I
like
don't
we
know
can
if
run from here with Horace carrying him, so.
I don't know if you realize this, but there are actually like arrow slits.
I'll look
Yeah.
out.
Okay. You see
What's happening?
the cultist, like you see a lot of dead outside, a lot of dead. You see that most of the fighting has taken place in the northern part with where the bullywug huts are.
Mhm.
And the first few huts, there are no dead. And then when you get to the middle of it, like there seems to be it looks like there has been struggle here. You see that like loads of bullywugs are dead in this direction, and but a few lizardmen. However, when you take a look towards the gatehouse where the bullywugs were guarding, if you remember,
Mhm.
you see that there's a lot of dead bullywugs here as well as lizardmen, like on the ground in front of it. Also, you see that there are children here, lizardmen children, small lizardmen, that have been struck by arrows and bolts, pelted by it, lying dead in the.
The Polywogs
In
didn't use crossbows, did they?
yes, they had crossbows.
Oh, okay.
The bullywugs here had some crossbows, yeah.
Okay. Because I just
Like
remember throwing stuff, right? Not crossbows.
yeah, no, they had like some crude, like old rusted crude crossbows. Maybe like the stick with a string, which they use as a bow. Nothing fancy, but yeah, you see them basically pelted by arrows, lying there and just lying on this way, trying to get towards the west. It looks like there are lots of here and then some stragglers over here. You see that you cannot see. That's basically you can see, and what you see as survivors is about 12 lizard men standing there, some with wounds, some without. They still being heavily armed or well equipped, a lot better than you have seen them before. Like the past 2 days, just you saw them when you descend into the dungeon. Saw them with this equipment, and they seem to be in a discussion and into a very emotional discussion with Drelmor right now.
Great. The other cultists are also there.
Yeah, most of the you would imagine that most of the cultists are standing outside. You see some standing here. You see upstairs, like on the second level, this tower, the main gatehouse tower is 2 stories, so basically ground level and then 1 story. And you see like up there are you see a few cultists as well. And again, Drelmor is in a very heated argument with the lizardman right now.
Well, I don't know of any secret exits.
Do you?
And
Don't you?
besides going down there.
Yeah. Besides the cellar.
Yeah, that's only the cellar, I think.
That's not true. You know a little bit more than that. That's the cellar.
I know that it's something else, right?
You know about the dungeon, yeah?
I know that the bugbear tried to escape through the water, but in my condition and in my armor, I probably won't make it.
Who tried to escape through the water?
The shaman.
Well, you don't know if there's another exit down there.
There could be. It makes sense that it connected to the moat. Except it's also crocodile, so in my condition, I'm probably not gonna make it.
In your armor with your friend under your arm. But
What
there's
else?
yeah.
I could try
If you
to
don't,
scale the wall on one side like that one, but pretty harsh. Especially with RS, so I'm thinking of ways to get out of here, and if I can, I'll go back to my original plan, which is try to see that we were strike here, but if the lizardmen spill, we'll be screwed. Plans.
well, you know of a other way that might be out of here. I don't know why you seem to forget it.
Another way that maybe... Oh, there's also this led down? No.
But like room 13 down in the cellar?
That led down, right?
Like
Or
room 13 in the dungeon? What? You were there? What? Are you? I mean, maybe you.
Oh, the portal. Yeah, that is also an idea.
How did you forget the fucking portal?
True, but it's also a portal that we don't know where it leads. But
No.
But it's probably better than here, right? I'll probably check with a few minutes here, just check how the conversation is going, and if it's going south as it is, like it seems to be, yeah, we're going to the dungeon, it's our only hope.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm just a little bit baffled that, well, the last two sessions you were like, kind of like, oh, there's a portal.
That was the previous session, portal, but I didn't get the investigation. We basically found the portal. The investigation was done on the session that I missed, basically.
Okay. Anyway.
But let's go there.
Okay, so you basically take a look outside and see how the conversation is going.
It's bad.
You want so you want to wait and see where the conversation is going?
Probably just a few seconds, see if I can get a better gist of it, and then get out.
Okay, give me an insight check then, please. You're not. They're quite far away, and
It's pretty hard.
And they're in a heated argument. But what are they are speaking about is hard to
discern.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is going to Ivatar. Grab or strike him. Just as I'm passing by Dorn, I have a thought, and I kind of check his pockets. The book isn't there, is it?
Dawn's book?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, of course not. Of course not. Dorn had a few things that we could try and get, probably a few potions, but I even care at this point. One of them is probably off healing, so they don't matter.
Do you want to check his belongings?
No, let's not. I was thinking if there was anything that like I should keep from them, like a memento or anything. From Steadis, I really don't know much about him. He never spoke much. He just said he was a guardsman. Like if he had a pendant or something we could return to someone, sure. But I don't remember.
What you know about him is that he had family in Baldur's Gate.
I can bring him the news, but I don't think I can bring them anything of value. For Dorn, I know he had family in Baldur's Gate, but I don't even know who. He never spoke of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, you had like some visions.
The only thing that he carried pretty consistently from the start was the dagger, and that's probably not very relevant.
You also don't see his raven around right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and determining Dawn, you also had like some visions about him, right?
Indeed. As I shake my head, I check his pulse just one last time. He's probably getting cold at this point.
Status and Dawn.
Dorn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's out to the outside. There's nothing I can do here. You're in God's hands now. And go down. Because I don't think I can carry two people at the same time.
Yeah, not in your current age.
Yeah, so I'll drag Oris down and go downstairs.
Okay. When you get into the smithy and down the stairs into the dungeon, you see that some of the lizardmen are on the way outside and basically meet you at the bottom of the stairs, and they have seen battle, and they grin at you and speak Draconic to you.
Yes, great battle. Yes, you've killed the. No, we pass. And I keep dragging Dorn unless they're gonna raise their weapons.
Alice.
Ours.
Yeah. No, they're not raising their weapons against you.
Yeah, Icarus is kind of behind the point of getting his on the last leg. He just wants to see if at least he can save his companion before he passes out.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't know where this portal is. He may be dooming us, but hey, it's at least something. So he drags himself. He kind of struggles passing by 9.
Okay.
With the stairs, he gets.
Give me a constitution. Give me a constitution roll.
Constitution. Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, I stumble pretty bad. Actually, as I'm going down the elevator, I think that thing is pulled by rope.
Yeah, that's by pulleys, like basically the pulley system.
Yeah, I lose my grip on it, and the thing just
shatter
falls.
onto the ground. You take. No, just kidding.
Oh shit! Oh snap!
No, just kidding.
Only 4 hours.
And you die. Oops. No.
And roll on the permanent injury table. A farp goes into your eye. Ah! And I'll drag him out, and let's go to where the crazy portal that probably still is. At this point, Icarus is kind of having difficulty seeing, and so the portal probably seems like it's dragging the entire world in him. It's not just the trails of magic. He pulls out the scroll that he read or saw before. He doesn't understand anything of the magic. He might as well try it. And he just tries, saying, "Riser."
As you say this, you see the ground which looks twisted, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ground itself looks twisted, and you see the ground starting to move inside the circle of runes. And as it starts to twist, you feel the ground kind of shaking, and the fog that is very condensed in this room, like starts to move and starts to swirl with basically the ground that's starting swirling. And after a minute or so, and there's the sound of like a booming, like kind of starts getting louder and louder. And as you sit there, the pebbles that lie on the floor kind of starting to jump on the floor. You see like finally a light beam shooting out of the fog, basically out of this vortex of fog in front of you onto the ground, building a beam of light onto the ceiling, and then kind of starting to spread.
Ronius, take me where you will. And I grab Horace and walk through it.
Okay, as you step on this portal, it feels like if you're slipping on ice. Like you just slipped on ice, and you try to grab something, but there's nothing you can grab, and you have this inevitable feeling of, oh shit, I'm gonna hit the surface of the ice, hit the ground right now, and you have this sensation of free fall, and you fall into this pit as you see the light in front over you, kind of like giving away, and then you lose like your sight for a second. And when you open, and let me now see if this actually works, because I've prepared this. And when you open your eyes again, a few seconds later, let's see if this works. Shit, I hope it worked. You see this. You can click on it. It should work if you can click on it. You basically can see this.
Oh.
It should be
Oh, a
in
crazy
replay.
vortex, basically.
Yeah, basically you're like inside of a tunnel and you see like light flashing by you, and this you don't know how long you fall through this tunnel. You have no feeling of time. You have no feeling of heat or cold. You have no taste. You don't hear or smell anything.
Well, I probably could smell a little as I was, and probably the only thing I could taste was my own blood, and the only thing I was feeling was pain, so this is probably a nice change.
I guess so. And you don't know how long you are falling. And when you finally hit the other part of the portal and you open your eyes, you see a magnificent surrounding. You see a clear sky above your head. You see grasslands in front of you swaying, and you see something approaching from the air. And this is where we're gonna stop today's session.
Great, guys! I died and went to heaven!
Okay, that's
that was
where
super close.
this is where we're gonna pick up next week.
Donald, you there?